All right, part 2 on Taylor Swift and her reading, so-called, for the kings of the earth and why she's on that live watch, because Elon Musk is at the live at the border. We got Trump's trials going live. We got the middle of those time frames and everything is falling down, okay? The Trump trial is tied to the Ukraine being taken off the funding, all right? And the the UK is the 2111. The 21 and 11 break down to that 311, and the 311 is tied to the COVID and the lockdowns and all that other stuff. But that's that 311 crane, and then also it's the 2111 crane, that 21 L-even crane, and that's tied to Trump, and he's tied to that 21, that twin cross win. The one, because he's coming back for that second coming, for that steal. He comes as a thief in the night. So he is the Gemini, and that is that twin, all right? And that Gem and I is that spirit of the Gabriel, all right? And we know that Trump's mom and grandma and such, they got the Mary and Christ and stuff in their names, and either way. So today, all right. Oh, let's get into the finish up the game stuff, and then we'll get into Simon Biles, who ties into the liver, right? The bile is the liver and the gallbladder, and the gall is tied to the Kamala, and the bladder is tied to the deer for that live game, for the beast hunt and such. Either way, so the people's been mentioning with the games and stuff, there's a Noah gray that's part of the floods, and then the grays are tied to the not the light or dark, but the darkness where the light and dark meet. That's the gray area. And then you have the Isaiah Penchico, and the Isaiah is another biblical name, and the Travis Kelce, he's the tight end. The tight end is tighting into the asshole, and then that's talking about him receiving. It said led team in receiving, but didn't find the end zone. All right. Now, that's the led T men. That T is for that Hebrew. All right. We talked about the brew and the Hebrew and Bruce Lee and all that stuff on the other video. But for that Chuck Norris fight, that Enter the Dragon, Return of the Dragon, fights in the Coliseum, the call. Yeah, I see him. All those types of things can be going on. So the led T men receiving, but and did not. All right. So, and then we saw him wearing the shirt, the T-shirt, the cross shirt, the her cross too for the Kamala. I believe the crapture that's coming is going to be played out in the time frame of when Kamala has more power, and be more of the time of getting into next summer or the election time frame to bring in the election app or whatever. However, they could do it by this Christmas, okay? But I see them they got to develop the storyline to where the lockdowns from the virus seems to be like, because we're going in a mirror, it's going to be more at the end, and that's going to be the final nail in the coffin, and this is when like maybe the UN has to come in and take people into the camps, and where the people who worship the name and number who didn't take the mark, they go up against and they start harvesting the beasts and shit or whatever. It becomes that zombie apocalypse and whatever kind of thing is going to be going on. It's going to get nuts. So the Travis Kelce, he has the win over the Jets, and the Jets tied to the stealth jet that went missing, and there's been other jet stuff or whatever, and this jet can tie into the Jets being played out for the 9/11 recap for the spiritual kinds of things, for that tower collapse, all right? And that's that to her collapse, because as we get to Kamala, things are going to go boom, 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 and then she's just going to open the floodgates, all right? So Simon Biles, all right, the AI is basically running the show, so it is picking and choosing these stories for the kings to decipher, okay? So with this, you have Simon Biles, all right? And that's the SIM for the SIM card for the computer, and that's the S for the 19 for the 19. The 19 is for Trump coming back for that teen, and that TN for that golf game, the live. And it's the AI, the 1, and 9 is the A and I and the letters, and then the 1 for the 1, the 3-in-1, and because he has a 3-point plan, his rise, his fall, his comeback. His comeback is for that second coming, that comeback, for that kind of stuff, for the XXXS stuff. So basically, people are being judged by their sins, and all the sins are being exposed, and all those sins are being exposed, they are being froze, and they're being posed for the live game to take them out, okay? Because Jesus has died for all these sins, and all this stuff is just a figment of your imagination, and everything is just brought to you through the frequencies and airwaves, that prince of the power of the air, telling you how to live life, telling you this, that, and the other, what's true, what's not, how the earth works, how bodies work, what you need to eat, how you need to do that, blah, 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 blah. All this bullshit. You believe like the world, you believe the lie. Okay? And just believing the frequency. Okay? You're going to hear stuff. You're going to hear stuff from this, that, and the other. Oh, you're going to get fat when you get married. You're going to do this when you turn 50. You're going to break down. You're going to whatever. Okay? Whatever the world is telling you and that people are living by. And look around. Most people believe it. Most people are living their life by it. That's why the armies have gathered for the trick and treatment. And the boosters are setting up, and they're coming. And the October surprise is now in the 8th month, the 8th month for the the Roman calendar. So now, Roman calendar, they like to fight and shit. So multiple calendars going on. Anyways, folks, got the Gregorian, the Hebrew, the Roman. Those are just for starters, all right? And then China's got their shit going on in theirs, got their New Year's, and multiple things we got to track here, folks, all right? You don't want to be left behind, okay? And if you don't have time to do these things or whatever, you need to listen to people who do. But either way. So Simon Biles, she's connected to the liver, the gallbladder, the live event, the ER, and she's being talked about with a double pike vault with the Yurchenko, and the Yurchenko ties to the Pt2 for the Isaiah, and the Yurchenko also ties to the Plinko game. That's in the Price is Right, because they're playing live games right now, so they're doing the live game shows and for that live game and all those types of things. So if you the Price is Right host just died. Wheel of Fortune is very important. That's why the Van Nutt extended the thing for 2 more years, even though the Pat Sajak is retiring or whatever. The Pat Sajak is for the Jack in the Box, for the scare that's jumping out for the boosters, and that box is going to be empty after Jack comes out, and you're going to be able to crap in it, and then you have your wrapping paper that you'll have that you can just wipe your ass with, because there's not going to be any Christmas present next year because the river of the Euphrates has dried up, and that Euphrates is tied to your trains, planes, and automobiles. And as the wall came in, that wall king has to be worshipped, and all this shit is coming. So America collapses and brings in the new, because it's an electric. There's plenty of electricity. We can harvest it from elephant dung. All right? You're not seeing the videos on Discovery Channel? Just harvest it wherever. It's an electric. We can just tap into it and get it wherever. We are electric beings. Once we know certain things about the light and how Earth operates, we could probably just and charge up our phones and do whatever we need to do. It's going to be a great time. Y'all don't want to miss these things. And unfortunately, the beasts are going to miss it. Because the beasts have been marked, and there's a live hunt going on right now. And the Rondon and Elon's got the musket. And they got a trigger. Anyways, the magazine is going to be full to the brim. And it's going to be emptied. What's that emptied? EMP. All right? Teed. The TY. TY? Y? 25. Y is the 25th letter. All right? So your Chinko is tied to the Chinko, the COVID, and the chin is tied to the chin for the teabagging, for the stuff that's coming on with that stuff, with the semen and those who give suck in those days. Because I did a short funny video back when. Well, I thought it was humorous. Who cares? But I told y'all to quit breeding with the people who gathered as the armies. All right. This is when you needed to start asking what they did on the date. And the rapture, for the wrapping up and the condemnation. So it's a good time to be married, or a good time to be celibate and be a master baiter, so you know how to fish in the seas of life and become your own God and those types of things right now until the reset's over, because there is a test of the law and test of righteousness, and those who are living outside the law will be tested by the law. If you give in to the law and you live your life by the law, okay, that's when all your sins are going to be exposed. All right. So I'm going to stop this and do a part 3 just because of time.